All right, good morning, good morning. Today is, I don't even know what day it is. Wednesday? I think it's Wednesday. It's 8:45 and I am headed to our local mall here in Hawaii. It's actually the biggest outdoor mall in America. You can fact check me. It's called Ala Moana Mall. Look it up. And the production company that I work with has asked me to go and capture some B-roll of one of their luxury stores. So before the mall opens, the client wants us to go in and capture the interior of this store. I guess they design these stores at the mall. So the client wants us to go in and capture all the designs and yada, yada, yada. So I'm gonna do that this morning. Hopefully I'll be there on time. Hawaii traffic is horrible. So it should be fun. Today is super minimal gear. I just have the FX30 with the 10 to 18, and then I brought the 18 to 50 as backup just in case I need it. And it all fits in this nomadic bag right here, which is crazy. If I can open it up, everything fits in there. You can't see it, but that's okay. So I will see you inside of the store, hopefully. So I feel like after I started posting more videos on YouTube and doing more of this vlog style content, is that I realized there's a lot of things that I can talk there's a lot of things that I can talk about. But today I kind of want to talk about full frame and crop sensor. I feel like there's been a lot of comments on the differences and how people can totally tell a difference. But I kind of want to briefly touch on this topic. As you may know, I own the FX3 as the A cam, and I own the FX30 as my B cam. And I've owned the FX30 ever since it came out, never once regretted it. I've shot everything from interviews, weddings, commercials, I mean, the list goes on, but it's just a great lightweight camera that matches perfectly with the FX3. And to be honest, I don't give two rips that it's a crop sensor. And I will always stand my ground and argue against people saying that there's such a big difference with crop and full frame sensors. The reality is you're not losing image quality. You're not losing dynamic range when you're shooting on a crop sensor. If you put an f1.4 on a full frame and the same f1.4 on a crop sensor, the only difference you'll see is the crop. And yes, you can pixel peep and zoom in 1000% and be like, oh look, the bokeh is different and it's a different shape and it's more shallow, blah blah blah. But really, I think people who say that they can notice the difference is putting way much unnecessary time and energy into something that, quite frankly speaking, a client will never ever notice. So my advice to you is do not get lost in this hype that a full frame camera is better. Top cinema cameras who have been killing it for decades and decades in the film industry have been shooting on Super 35 sensors. Bigger sensors doesn't mean you'll get more clients. Bigger sensors will not help you tell a better story. Now, it might help you in low light situations, I'll give you that, but it won't help you become a better DP or businessman. So, I'm done with my rant, but I'm happy with my FX30. It's great. It's great on the gimbal. It's so easy to put on the gimbal and take it off and put it on a tripod. And yeah, it's awesome. My go-to lenses have been the Sigma 10 to 18 and the Sigma 18 to 50, and they're both f2.8. Why is this so hard? Hopefully this will work. Can you guys hear me? I don't want to be talking like this the whole time, but okay, that shoot went really well. It was only like 30 minutes. Can't complain. I think The challenge with that one is just trying to get creative, because the client just wants to see the design aspects and how they created the store, certain type of materials that they use, the lighting fixtures. So we're not focusing on the product. It's not about the actual store and what they sell. It's about how they design the store. And so the deliverables is just a string out of just B-roll, really, of the store. But, you know, how do we take it up a notch and show them something that they like with, you know, nice movements. So for this type of project, I'm not going to be doing like a Dutch angle or a 360 roll or anything, you know, crazy. But, you know, working with foreground and background and some good gimbal movements is what I think they're going to enjoy. Another thing is, you know, making sure that you nail all of your settings right in camera, so you're not just dealing with changing the white balance and frame rates and all that later in post. You want to nail that in camera right there on the shoot. So, you know, making sure that I was shooting in 60 frames per second, that my exposure was good. I was at FX30. I use Cine EI, so with the dual ISO is 800 and 2500. So I think for the most part I was 800, and also made sure that I was shooting at f4, not f2.8. The whole point is to show the store and certain features like the table or the shelvings or the lightings, and so I want everything in focus. So none of this fast aperture. So yeah, let's talk about some misconceptions when it comes to this industry, particularly freelancing, is that freelancers have unlimited flexibility. That is not true. Let me tell you why. Because I've been doing this for a while. You may think that as a freelancer, you can say no and yes to all the clients all the time. You can take a break for a whole month and go on vacation whenever you want to. You just have this unlimited amount of flexibility. The reality is that, and this is kind of like a meme that I saw, is that it was this person saying, I traded because I wanted to go freelance, I traded my 9 to 5 to now 24/7. And, you know, obviously it's a little bit of sarcasm there, but it's kind of true. You're kind of always working because you kind of always have to be available. When emails come in at 11 o'clock at night, I mean, that's up to you whether or not you want to respond to them, but you're going to have irregular, non-traditional hours when it comes to responding to people, whether that be storyboarding or, you know, coming up with a concept. It's hard to do that in a 9 to 5 when you're freelancing. So the reality is, clients have particular deadlines as well, and so you can't just be like, okay, I shot this project, see ya, I'm gonna go on a 2-week vacation to Disneyland when the project is due in 2 days. You can't do that. So that is definitely a misconception, that you think that you have unlimited flexibility when it comes to freelancing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is that true? Do you feel like as a freelancer you have unlimited flexibility? Or do you feel like coming from a 9 to 5 and now you're freelancing, do you feel like you're working more? Let me know.